that one I was just swimming on the bottom. That slow reel that we were talking about, just real slow. I don't know if you got to see that. That's a better fish too. That's a better fish. The great thing about this football is that you've got 3 things to choose from. There you go. Look at that. Whew, what a nice fish. A football head jig in his mouth. Guys, this is a great way to close it. This is a lure you have to have in your box. Nothing works better than a football jig. You know, with all those categories of jigs, finesse, flipping, pitching, swimming, those jig head styles are specialized. The football head jig, because of those broad shoulders, right? That football shape is specialized for coming across the bottom. Here's the big one, you ready? And not snagging. You know, the ability to drag this thing, to slowly reel this thing, to stroke this thing around rock, gravel, wood, brush, riprap, and not get hung up, that's what makes this football head jig really special. So we haven't even got into when and where yet, and you can already get a feel for why you have to have this jig, right? It's going to get big bites. Look at this, look at the profile of that thing, right? It's going to get big bites, and you're going to fish it through stuff, not snagging in stuff. It's going to get through, okay? Beautiful, beautiful things about that jig. I want to get into the where and the when. And this is another one of those baits that has a broader spectrum of conditions that you can fish it. It's a reason that it stays in your boat, right? If you think about some of the lure categories that you've listened to here at Bass U, there's ones that go in your boat in the spring and they come out in the summer, or ones that go in the winter and they leave in the spring. That's one, we're gonna leave that box in our boat all year round. I want you to see it. Look at that. There's my football head box. It says Headbangers because that's the name of that one. That's a Missile Jigs Headbanger, but that jig box, football head box, never leaves that hatch. Think about that. In the course of an elite season, or MLF, or whatever circuit you're fishing, you're gonna fish from the pre-spawn through the fall. You're gonna fish dirty water, clear water. And that thing's gonna work in a pretty broad spectrum, okay? So the where, any body of water, natural lake, pond, river, stream, any water clarity, okay? Dirty, clear, from the cleanest clean to flat out muddy, yoo-hoo. That's a situation where a lot of lures lose their value. Football head jig in muddy water, just as good, okay? But specifically, I want to tell you that when you get deeper, when you get into a scenario where you're fishing deeper water. Now that's a relative term, right? I always want to keep this honest because deep in Florida might be 5 to 10 foot. Deep in Georgia might be 20 to 30. Deep in California, that's like 60, 70 feet. So that's a relative term. But as a deep water tool, winter, spring, summer, fall, dirty water, clear water, stain water, pond, river, reservoir, stream, as a deep water tool, hard to beat football jig.